Welcome to a brand new edition of Local Focus. I'm your host, Sebastian Noel. We are talking basketball today, and I'm not going to lie, you know, like when players, they get up for certain games, like I have been waiting for this show because the guy in the chair, I'm going to show a little bias here, is one of my absolute favorite players in the city, Sandia Matador, Lamarion Coleman. Hey, it's good to have you, man. Like, you're the guy on that team, right? Like, you make them go, man. The energy, the vibe, the goofiness, that's you, man. Talk about that.
Well, honestly, that's just who I am. It's like, because I've always been like that. That's what, talking crap makes me play better, and it just makes my game elevate. And so, like, I noticed, like, I feel, so playing AAU from, like, 7th grade to my junior year, I've always played with Eli, Andrew, Nick, Wilson. And so we always all just feed off each other. And so, like, transferring to Sandia with Andrew to go play with Eli and Coach Brown and everybody else who was already on the program, that's what our goal was to just have fun, just play basketball. Like, in practice, we just tell the young guys, because our whole team's a bunch of sophomores, we just tell them, all it is just play basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And it just works because, like, Eli is one of those guys, like, I think there's a personality in there somewhere, but he is like Mr. Business, man.
Yeah, that's
he's
true.
You know, we're at the free throw dawn, and he's just taking my money just one at a time.
One
all
at a time.
Business, no smiling.
You was trying to distract him, too.
That wasn't me. That was Coach Brown. But, like, so he's Mr., like, just, you know, serious, right? But then there's you, like, just the energy and the way the guys feed off of it. I just dig it, man. And that's got to be important for a successful team, right?
Yeah.
How hard is it though for those guys to keep a straight face around you? Like that, right? I mean, Coach Brown's trying to yell at you. Coach Brown's in the timeout. Coach Brown's trying to yell at you, and then you crack that. That's gonna be hard for the guys to keep.
And honestly, it's crazy because I'm not the only one who has like I'm the only one who has like a big personality like that, but I'm not the only one who has that personality, who's very energetic. And so, like you said, it's kind of hard when Coach Brown, because like in practice, like we'll be huddling, we'll be scrimmaging, and we'll start cracking jokes, and he gets mad. Like, obviously, because we're practicing, we're supposed to take it serious.
Right.
But like you said, someone will smile or he'll say something funny, and we'll just all start laughing, and he'll get mad.
Does he have a sense of humor? I don't.
No, he actually does. Surprisingly,
does he?
He surprisingly, he actually does.
All right. So, but you also do. I mean, that energy is not just a locker room thing. It's not just. I mean, it's on the floor too, in the style of your game, right? Like, so has that always been kind of you, just diving for loose balls, doing everything?
Yeah. Well, I've developed that more like lately in my game, because I'm not gonna lie, I was never the person to dive for a loose ball or take charges. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that wasn't me. The thought of it was just scary.
I think taking charges is kind of weak anyway, but that's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah, that's a whole nother
right? Like, that's not real defense. But anyway, so you developed that over time?
Yeah, and honestly, I got that from my sister because she played high school basketball too, and she was telling me like doing like little things like that lead up to big things throughout the game. So she was honestly the one who helped me like get that mentality.
Right. So, it is a mindset, right? Like, you have to be locked into that kind of mindset, right? Guys just can't turn it on and off, but it's definitely, it has to be your personality. It has to be the way you play, right?
Right.
Like, give me an NBA comp to that or a college comp. Like, what player do you see like, yeah, that guy's like me?
Draymond Green.
Draymond Green.
I get that a lot.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the comp I would. I mean, you've never kicked anybody in the nuts, but,
Yeah, but
like other than that, like that's the player comp I would have used, right?
That's crazy.
And like I'm all about Draymond Green. Like I think every team needs a Draymond Green, right? Like before you were around, like every team had a Charles Oakley, every team had a Dennis Rodman, every team had that guy, right? And Draymond is that guy, right? And he's like the ultimate winner. Every team needs a guy like that. So when you see a guy like that on the NBA stage, on I would say one of the biggest teams in the league, and be so successful, scoring 7 points a night, 6 or 7 rebounds, 5 or 6 assists, but that team falls apart when he's not on the floor. So how does that encourage you, and how do you try to develop your game like that?
Well, I watch like various of NBA players, but I notice like his leadership and his like when he communicates on the floor, that's a big thing. Because I notice, like, with our team, sometimes we forget to communicate with each other.
Right.
And then that affects us because teams start scoring on us or they start breaking our press or, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Various stuff like that.
Like when the Knights beat you?
Yeah, when the Knights beat us.
Yeah, I got you. All right,
Yeah.
I got it.
I'm going to give
you
them
know
props.
I had to throw that
no,
in,
it's
right?
okay.
You
I'm
know
going to
I
give them
had to
props. They
throw
beat
it.
us. They
All right,
beat us
all
fair and
right.
square.
You know, it's preseason, though, right? You're going
Yeah.
to get them when it counts, right?
Yeah.
All right.
But I'll give them their props. They beat us.
Okay, what happened with Draymond? Like, all right, so are you team Draymond or are you team Jordan Poole? With that whole scenario, like, what were your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't know the in and outs of that, so
Right.
I'm Team Lamarion right now.
All
I'm
right,
Team
I like
Lamarion.
it. I like it. I kind of was like, well, what's the problem? I'm sure that happens in practice. I mean, a lot. Maybe not just cold cocking a guy.
Yeah,
but,
that's
but
crazy.
why did we see that? Was my question. Like, why was there cameras rolling, and why did the public see that? Because I'm pretty sure that kind of stuff happens in practice, right? Like that's how you grow as a team.
Right.
What's the craziest thing that happens at Sandia practice? Like if someone has to get into another dude and be like, straighten your you-know-what out, who's that guy on that team that lays down the law?
Me.
Yeah. All right, so tell me about that.
Well, I say all of us because we all have our moments, but I definitely can say I'm the biggest trash talker on our team.
Mm-hmm.
And I talk trash more to my team than more to the opposing team.
Right. So, but you're not afraid to get a teammate in line when they need to.
No.
So have you had to do that? Can you share a story where maybe a young guy comes in, doesn't know the Matador way, and you had to go full Lamarion on them?
It actually happened like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, nice. You don't have to say the name. Just tell me how. I want to see what team dynamics and leadership looks like. So tell me what happened.
Okay, so we were scrimmaging, and coach was telling us like to get in their ass, and because we were playing defense, and so we were pressing, and I forgot who I was pressing up with, and I'll say his name. I don't care. His name's Zaire. And he's a sophomore. He's still young, still new. He had the ball. We were pressing him, and the score was already like it was like 80 something to like 50 because we were scrimmaging for a while, and so we kept stealing the ball from him. And the whole game he was just out of the game, out of the game. So every time we touched the ball, we started talking shit to him, and then so we just get in his ass. And then he got mad. Right. And he tried to push me. And so
full Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, literally on some Jordan Poole and Draymond type.
Oh wow.
So he pushed me, and then I pushed him back, and I said,
you might not be able to say what you said.
Yeah, I can't say what I said.
I can see Josh in the studio behind him panicking. His face is red. All right, but that's like leadership, right? Like that happens, right? Team dynamics, that happens, right? Yeah, right. That makes you a stronger team, right?
Yeah.
All right.
It actually happened to a couple of players that same day.
Okay. All right. Where do you guys think you're at as a team? Like, I think you guys are going to be pretty good. Sometimes I don't think you guys truly believe how good you guys can be. Like, I'm not going to lie. When I went to the first, you and I talked after the game, right? When we went to that first fall league game, right? You turn it on for like 5 minutes, turn it off for 5. Like, where are you guys at as a team? Because I think you guys can be amazing this year.
Well, right now we're a good team, but we're striving to be a great team.
Right.
So we're trying to develop a killer instinct to play consistently and to play the same way every game.
Right.
No matter who's in front of us, like we're all trying to develop where all 5 starters can attack a guy and defend the guy who's in front of you, and to not let nobody score. And we're trying to get our young guys to develop that same mentality. So when they get in, we don't have to worry about, oh, well, why is he getting in, coach? Or, you know what I'm saying? So we just be like, so if I get taken out, the dude who's taking me out can do the same thing I can do, no matter how old he is. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So we're just trying to develop that, and we're trying to develop our defense better because we can play defense Like we have possessions where we play great, but we're trying to play great consistently throughout the whole game. Just take our opposing team out of the game.
I want to pick up on that when we get back. We'll take our first commercial break. I want to talk about the difference between a good team and a great team and where you guys are trying to go. We'll be right back.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Back with Sandia Matador, Lamarion, Coleman. All right, you were talking before the break about trying to get to be a great team, going from a good team to a great team. What's the difference between a good team and a great team? And you kind of started on it, but what's the difference?
Working in the gym, going hard 24/7, and also out of the gym, because it starts with the classroom too, because you're a student athlete. So I feel like we got to take care of your stuff and do your part as a teammate to maintain good grades, maintain a positive attitude, and maintain good leadership. No matter if you're a senior, sophomore, no matter what grade you are, you need to be a leader no matter what. And so I feel like, and when you hold your teammates responsible, because there's times where we won't hold each other responsible. Like last week we were messing up and we weren't holding each other accountable when we weren't playing defense or we weren't being efficient on offense. So I feel like when we hold each other accountable and be honest with each other and don't try to sugarcoat things, that helps us as a team. And when we have our bench with each other and helping us, talking with us off the floor, so we know where the guy is, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I say stuff like that, and working 24/7 consistently and maintaining the same mentality through practice and throughout game.
You talked about killer instinct. So what are you guys trying to achieve there? And what does that look like? What does a killer instinct look like?
Just playing defense and just playing hard the whole game. And even if the team is with us throughout the whole game, but that last quarter, that's where we like really snap on them and put our foot on their neck and just kill them.
And so where do you guys think you're at in that process, right? Because that was certainly the knock on the team last year, right? Is that maybe you guys were lacking that a little bit, right?
Right.
That you took some plays off, and I thought you guys were already at a pretty high level last year, but there was something missing, right? And it was that killer instinct, right? So where do you guys think you're at now compared to last year?
Well, I kind of think it's kind of hard to compare from last year from this year because it's two different
guys,
different teams. But I think last year we had a lot of potential, but we faced a lot of adversity last year, which is fine. It's life, so you know what I'm saying. But I think this year, like I say that experience, because I didn't have varsity experience last year.
Right.
That was my first year playing varsity, so I say gaining that experience and playing with that team has also helped me as a player to lead the young guys that I have now under my belt.
So what's the work still to be done to develop that killer instinct?
I say, like I said, playing hard.
Right.
Still, because like you said, we've taken plays off sometimes, or we get tired.
Do teams fear the Matadors when they walk into the gym? Do other teams fear you guys yet?
I don't know.
That's part of killer instinct, right?
Right.
Like, do you think?
Yeah.
I mean,
some teams though, because there's some teams that don't fear us, but we still gotta do what we gotta do.
Right.
Because
I mean, there's teams out there, and there's not a lot of them, but there's teams out there that, not only are they going to beat you, but they're going to dominate you. They're going to guard. They're going to run up the score, and you're going to lose by 40, right? There's guys, when you walk in the gym, there's certain teams.
Yeah.
That,
okay, that's true.
That
yeah,
do
I
that,
get what
right?
you're saying. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Are you guys there yet?
No, not yet. I'm gonna be honest. No, not
Right.
yet. That's why we're working.
That's
on
the next step, right?
Yeah.
Because I think you guys are talented enough where the team knows that they have Sandia on the schedule. That should be worth 10 points to you guys right there. They already know, like, hey, we're down 10 because we're playing the Matadors. They're that good, right? Is that's kind of, you guys talk about that, or how do you develop killer instinct? Is it just something that you guys are working on? Is it something Coach Brown mentions? Is it something you guys mention? How is that talked about amongst the guys?
It's more Coach Brown mentioned it, and so he's trying to get us to develop that. But also, like as a team, we need to develop that because, for example, like I could say, who has a killer instinct is Volcano. Like you just said, when you dominate and people like see them on the schedule, people get scared because like Kenyon, Hudson, Big Sean, you know what I'm saying? When people see them, they fear them pretty much. Like they'll be like, oh,
and they're beating teams by 50 right now in the fall league, right?
That's what I'm
saying. So they're
saying.
already planting the seeds of domination, right?
Right.
That's a real thing, right?
Yeah. That's what we're trying to do. But not like Volcano, but we're trying to do it our own way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're trying to, like you said, dominate, guard, score,
And
run up the score, and intimidate them.
Like the bad boys, the Pistons.
Yeah,
right?
literally.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about team dynamics. To me, I think the reason I'm so high on you guys this year is the pieces all fit. At least it looks like that from an outsider. Right? Like the pieces all fit. You're on the inside, right? Do the pieces all fit? It seems like you guys love playing together. It seems like your games complement each other well. It seems like the pieces all fit.
Yeah, the pieces all fit. Now we're just trying to work as a team and to do everything together as a team. Guard as a team, play offense as a team. You know what I'm saying? We're just trying to do everything as a team. Like, and we're trying to develop that, like no selfish ball. Like we're trying to pass the ball, pass and cut. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Guard, like don't let the ball get in the paint. We're trying to really.
Have your expectations changed this year from last year to this year? Do you sense heightened expectations from you, from your guys, and from Coach Brown? Do you sense that?
Yeah. Honestly, I have high expectations for myself already, just as a person. But as a team, like you said, my expectations have gone higher because we have potential. Like we have a high potential to win a blue trophy or to even make it. You know what I'm saying? To make it to the state championship. And so, I say, like trying to get the young guys on board with us because like to them it's like, oh well, we still have a couple more years, you know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to get them.
You're not trying to hear that noise.
Yeah, I'm not trying to hear that. We trying to win right now because I'm trying to tell them like if y'all win this year, you guys are gonna have that same mentality. Right. You guys are gonna play the same for the next 2-3 years. So y'all can get 3 state championships. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm still trying to get the first one, but like I need you guys. Like we need them as much as they need us. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm trying to get them to figure that out.
And how's that going? How's that going with the new guys? You think the young guys are buying in? Everyone's from a culture standpoint.
Yeah. I say they're buying in because we're trying to build a culture at Sandia.
Right. And I know Danny's big on that, and so that's got to be pretty cool to help build that, right?
Yeah, it's a really good thing to be a part of.
All right, we're going to take another break. I want to talk about your development as a player. I'll tell you a little story, okay? So I don't remember what game it was during the summer. It may have been the La Cueva tournament, I don't remember. But you were going off, and I called Danny up. I think sometimes I take advantage of my friendship with Coach Brown, and I try to give him pointers when I don't really think he wants them. But I call him up. I say, hey, man, dude, I was watching Lamarion today, right? And, he had this drop step move, and then he scored on an OB, and then he did this, and you're going to have to run some plays. Like, he's not just going to get rebounds. You're going to have to run some plays for my dude. And I don't know if he really appreciates me saying all those things, but I called him up. I gave him the full scouting report. I'm like, dude, these offensive moves on Lamarion, I couldn't believe them. So I want to talk about that when we get back.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of Proview Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. a proud supporter of Proview Networks.
All right, welcome back. We were talking about your individual development, and like I started seeing it in the summer, and and I called Danny right away. I'm like, dude, you should see Lamarion just balling out today. So how did that happen? How are you developing your game? Like last year, you were the ultimate role guy, right? Come in, energy, rebound, defense, all that stuff, right? But then in the summer, I'm watching you, and like you're just showing some stuff that I didn't think you had, right? Like the moves around the basket. So talk about that, your development as an individual.
Well, I give a lot of credit to Coach Brown because after our last season ended, after we lost to Las Cruces, he gave us maybe two weeks off, and we were in the gym. So we'll say we started in the gym in April, and we were in the gym the whole time all the way until July. And so I say he played a big part of my development because we're just in the gym 24/7. Because I remember after I tore my meniscus, that's also why I didn't play my sophomore year because I tore my meniscus.
Right.
But after I tore my meniscus, I wasn't able to really play, and so I lost a lot of confidence. I wasn't able to dunk, none of that, and so I say this because working that whole off season, I started dunking again. I started developing more of my offensive game, putting more guard moves in my bag, and so I say he helped me a lot with that, and also just working outside of that. Going to Van Buren Middle School or Cesar Chavez Community Center, me and my older sister, we would just go over there and just put work in.
Oh, you mentioned your sister a couple of times, so she's got to be a baller then, right?
Yeah, she's a baller.
Tell me about that.
Well, she went to Highland. She played with some really great people. She played with Kylie Crawford,
Right.
Denise Ryan. So she played with a couple of good people. And so she plays a big part in my basketball career because she's like me. She gets that dog mentality,
Right.
that in your face, loud, energetic. I genuinely get that from her. I got it myself, but on the court, I really get it from her because she gave me pointers on where she messed up at or where she did good at or where she didn't do good at. So that's helping me so I know where to do and what to work on and what not to work on.
And she can kind of help guide you through some things, right? So how
Right.
cool is that, having someone right there to lean on and, guide you through, growing pains of basketball? And you reach out often or what are those conversations like?
With me and my sister?
Yeah.
We talk about everything, man.
Right.
That's like my new best friend now because me and my sister have always been close,
Right.
but recently within these last 2-3 years, we've gotten a lot closer. Because she lives right next door to me. So.
Right.
So we're with each other all the
does
time.
she beat you one-on-one still, or?
Yeah.
She does sometimes?
Yeah, she does.
Oh,
honestly.
That takes a real man to admit that. I admire that. I admire that, Lamar. I admire that. All right. Let's shift gears a little bit. Free throw-a-thon, man. You guys were everyone was in the 90s, right?
Everyone is in the 90s.
Yeah, that was crazy. Talk
Yeah.
about that. You guys raised money for Papa Brown, which is wonderful. But I didn't know you guys were all that good free throw shooters. Last year I sponsored Sean and he only hit 70.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, this
tell me
year,
that. Tell me about that. You guys, what did you finish with?
84.
So 84. You were low man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's
Yeah,
that like?
that's crazy, and that's what caught me off guard too. Because last year I hit 67 free throws, so my goal this year was to get 70 to 75. And so once I finished with 84, and I'm asking everybody else what they got, I'm not gonna lie, I was lying to people. I told everybody I had 96 just to keep it high, and then everybody's like, "Oh, I had 92, I had 95," and I'm like, that's why I lied because everybody had high numbers.
Right.
And then I started telling everybody too. I'm like, "Nah, I really only had 84." And so I realized that after
Well, you
talking
hit a
to
cold
everybody,
streak, right? You missed 3 or 4 in a row.
Yeah, I
'cause
missed 3 or 4 in a
I was
row.
at that rim with you guys, and yeah, you just hit that little cold streak, right?
yeah.
But I mean, that's got to be pretty cool that all of you guys are just. I mean, I can see the accountability piece, right? Your games are all similar in ways, but different in other ways, but very interchangeable. Again,
Right.
like we talked about that, right? So who's the hardest guy to guard in practice?
We have our days. Everybody has their days. Sometimes.
No, you're not going to get away with that. Who's the hardest guy to guard in practice? Who's the guy that, if he's on, you can't stay in front of him?
Eli.
Eli, huh?
Eli.
Yeah, I feel like he's got old man moves too, right?
Yeah,
You
he
watch
does.
him and you don't think he's the fastest, and then he's by you.
Yeah, he's. It's crazy because he's not the fastest dude.
But he's quick.
But man, his IQ is through the roof. His footwork is phenomenal. Because my sister told me to pick off people's games. Don't watch certain things they do, and I could say that from Eli, that's what I picked up is his IQ is through the roof and his footwork is tremendous. But I say also Andrew because his vision on the floor is crazy. It's like nobody else's, in my opinion. Like he'll see the floor and he'll throwing full court passes to me, and I'm just catching them. But also Dalen too. Dalen, his handles are fast. Like he's kind of hard. He's kind of hard to guard too. But when Andrew gets the ball and you're playing full court on him, he's gone. Trust me. He's hard to
got the
guard.
lefty thing going, right? So that's a different angle. All right. Now, you said you wanted to ask me some questions. That's not something we normally do around here, but you said you wanted to ask the host some questions. So fire away.
But I forgot the question.
Oh, perfect. Then I'll keep going. Then. All right. All right. So, basketball at the next level, I'm sure that's on your radar, right?
Yes, sir.
So talk about that. I mean, what do you need to do to get there? What are some schools maybe you're looking at? What are some schools that are looking at you, et cetera, et cetera? What does that look like?
Well, I'm just trying to develop my game still. I feel like I need to work on my ball handling still more. Like I've worked on it throughout the off season, but I still feel like there's stuff that I can improve on, like driving to the rim better, getting better angles at the rim. Because I've worked on my jumper a lot this past off season, so that's where I've improved that. But I say like, oh, the weakness I have is handling the ball. But I also have worked on it too, though. So it's not something I just didn't worry about. So I worked on it too, but I say that's one thing I can also work on.
Right.
And I feel like I can work on my perimeter defense better too.
Okay. So what are some places that you'd like to go play at?
Well, after watching March Madness this past March, North Carolina is a school that I've looked at.
We can edit that out. We'll say we'll just put UCLA over your mouth. And then, that's my squad, right? That's my squad. All right. So you watch a lot of college basketball, NBA, or not really? I mean, you watch that.
I watch more college basketball than NBA.
So who are some guys that you kind of gravitate towards on the college side?
RJ Davis.
Okay.
From North Carolina, because they run a lot of high pick and roll, and so just like seeing like the way he turns the corner and he gets his angles at the basket and how he creates space and make plays, I like that. And also Brady Manig too.
Okay, yeah, he's tough.
Yeah.
All right, video games, last thing, right? Like it seems like all you San Diego guys are gamers, right? So what's your choice there? What's your game of choice? You a Call of Duty guy? You're a 2K guy? What do you?
I'm more of a 2K guy.
Okay.
I'm more of a 2K guy.
And best on the team? Where are you at in the pecking order of the hierarchy?
Probably like third.
That's probably good because like I would imagine the guy that's best on the team not in the gym enough, right? So if you say, oh, I'm in the middle, then you can kind of say, yeah, I'm always in the gym working on the real game, right?
Right.
But I feel like if you say, oh, I'm the best, that means maybe you're spending too much time on it. Could that be?
No.
No? All right.
You can still be the best and still be in the gym all the time.
Okay, all right. Well, I appreciate you coming in, man. I really look forward to this, and you did not disappoint, my man. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
On all the success, and we'll be watching. I'm a big Lamarion Coleman fan, and after watching tonight, how can you not be? Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.